Here we go.
Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, Rob. Let's get the show on the road and talk about some Thanksgiving football.
Oh, we
good little picks.
We got Thanksgiving football. We got our picks. We got talking about Tom Brady, trash talking a little bit on DJ there, a little bit. Malik Nabers apparently drops don't matter, and it's like he's like whose lines anyway with points don't matter. And we got Giants really setting records, and not for good reasons, as you can imagine. And then, of course, always we have more injuries because that's what the Giants have had for the last, 10,000 years. It feels like injuries, and more injuries. And now this time to a couple of really important players, especially one who you could say easily is probably our best player on the entire roster. So let's get right into it first with the guy that many refer to as the GOAT of QBs. Tom Brady, talking about Daniel Jones and basically kind of insinuating he quit on the team, basically. So, a little bit of a dramatic take. I was kind of shocked for that. But, listen, it got him in the news. That's a lot of what people in the media like to do is just get themselves in the news. And Tom Brady, like it or not, is now part of the media. So he said, I don't know how that whole situation went down, but to think that you'd ask for a release from a team that could committed a lot to you is maybe different from how I would have handled that. I always felt I wanted to get the trust and respect of my teammates, regardless of the situation, knowing that I was trying to be the best I could for the team because that was the most important thing. There's just some different things that happen in the NFL. Everyone makes individual choices. I think we're all, at points in our career, faced with different challenges. I faced them in college. Some things didn't go the way I wanted, but the people that matter the most to me were the guys in the locker room. I showed up every day. I didn't care if they asked me to be the scout team safety, scout team quarterback. I was going to do whatever I could to help the team win. That's a little dramatic, I think.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit dramatic because I think what Tom Brady's not forgetting, and listen, we've said, for those who may not be familiar with us, again, Daniel Jones, bad quarterback. Let me get this out right off the bat. Not a good quarterback. But if you don't think this guy gave every single thing he could to this franchise, his time where he was here, you're crazy. You're kidding yourself. You don't even know the guy who he is, obviously. He gave every single thing he had. It's just what he had wasn't good enough to be a starting quarterback in this league. That's what it boils down to. And for him to sit there and say that, like, this guy busted his butt for 5.5 years, this franchise, got treated like crud by a lot of the fans, guys. We were guilty of this as well. Went through coaching staff after coaching staff, coordinator after coordinator, bad offensive line after bad offensive line, lack of weapons left and right. I mean, he dealt with it all. Did you once hear this man complain publicly?
Not a single time.
Nope.
You even hear him talk about complaining, or it leaks out that he complains.
Exactly. So, like I said, I respect what he gave to this franchise. I just don't think the quality was there. But the quantity of work he put in was not an issue. And he never did give up. And actually, rumors came out that he was the one who wanted to help in some way in that practice. He's talking about being the scout team safety. And he's the one who said, I'll do it. Now, I'll say this. The Giants should have said no. Because they should know the optics of that. But that was his commitment level he had to the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't question that, man.
Yeah. There's plenty. You can question his talent all you want. You can question his vision of the field all you want. You can
That's
question
fair.
his ability to throw to people in stride. You can go ahead and question his ability to evade a pass rush instead of walking right into it. There's plenty of things you can question on Daniel Jones. His effort and his commitment to the team is something you never should have questioned.
Yeah. The guy gave his all from the get-go. Even coming up to the draft.
Yeah, exactly. And this is now being said by a guy that, listen, I don't mean this in a negative way because Tom Brady was blessed to not have this, but Tom Brady never dealt with this kind of situation in his career.
Not even close.
He was the backup because he was a 7th round pick or whatever it was, 6th round pick. Once he got that job, he never lost it. There was never a doubt he was going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, there was not a single doubt. The only doubt in his career that he ever had was he too old? Should we get rid of him now or later?
Yep.
Oh, Garoppolo's gone. I guess we keep with him.
Yeah, I mean, he threw a hissy fit every time they got Jimmy G or they got Jacoby Brissett, or even when the Bucs got Kyle Trask, he threw a hissy fit every single time. So, I can't sit there and say he necessarily did what's best for his team. And if he wants to talk about people quitting, how about the last time he retired and he literally sat on a beach outside of Tampa and announced his retirement when he could have waited a little bit and split the money and helped the Bucs big time. But he did what was best for him. He made his business decision. So, just saying, those in glass houses shouldn't shower naked because people can watch you. Just wear a bathing suit.
Well, that's, you don't mind showering naked. Everyone's seeing
Whatever.
it,
I don't know. As long as I'm not a eyesight, we're good. But yeah, like I said, I think Tom Brady is just trying to make a name for himself as a media guy. That's what it boils down to. He's trying to say something for shock value. He's trying to see something that's going to get him in the news. And here we are taking the bait. We took the bait.
Yeah.
Rob. We took the damn
gun.
God damn it. You got us again, Brady. Get another championship ring for that one.
Super Thanos over here.
His first media championship ring. The little Fox Sports emblem on it. All right, let's talk about another guy talking out of his tuchus, to put it nicely. Malik Nabers. Don't care about drops. Who cares? Drops don't matter. They just don't, apparently. After the game where he had 2 drops, he said, I don't care about drops. I mean, it's just part of football. I don't care if I drop the ball 6 times. Keep throwing me the ball. What? Are you kidding me? Listen, Rob, I feel like you and I have been on this kid's side from the second we've drafted him. We did say during the draft process, because let's be honest, he did take that shot at DJ. We were like, you know what? You're not wrong what you're saying, but you probably shouldn't say it publicly because you might be playing with this guy.
And he had to play with that guy?
Yeah. Well, this is the first thing he said that I'm like, whoa. Like, we backed him when he went to the strip club because that's stupid. Who cares? He's 20 years old at the time, 21 now. What 20, 21-year-old guy doesn't go to a strip club? That's life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to claim I never did. I certainly did. Not very often. Wasn't like some kind of weird sex addict or something, but, like I did go occasionally, and then he does this. That's a bad look, Neighbors. That's a really bad look, and keep in mind, guys, he's an 8.5 drop rate. He leads all rookie wide receivers in drops. He has the most drops of any receiver with 100+ targets. He's second most drops in the NFL. That's pretty bad, guys.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. The number one guy is Amari Cooper. Not a bad receiver.
Some say he's pretty good.
Yeah. So, it's... I just feel like... I don't want to say it's not a very important stat, because it is. But it's like, would you rather have the really dynamic receiver that drops the ball occasionally? Or would you rather have the guy who catches the ball every time but just doesn't get open very often?
You take the dynamic player, because if he's not dynamic, you could probably teach him how to hold on to the ball. Like
That's yeah.
Like, hey, listen, look at Slayton. Do you want to call him dynamic, or just say like a pretty good receiver?
Yeah.
You can say he's a pretty good receiver. Drop the ball a lot. Hasn't done so much the past couple seasons. You can teach someone how to fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like that's part of it too. He's a rookie. You got to give him a little chance to learn it. And there's some players that have been, famous for dropping the ball occasionally, just in general. Theo, classic example. Theo's led the league and dropped how many times? You tell me you don't want a guy like Theo? I'm granted, you may not want the personality. You don't want a talent like Theo.
He's my quarterback.
Oh my god!
Well, at least he defended his quarterback.
That guy was a psychopath, but he was a really good player. I mean, the guy was like, what was it, a broken bone or something he had in the Super Bowl, and still played through it. He still played very good.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. Like, you're gonna give me that kind of player? Yeah, I'll deal with it. Yeah, he broke his leg and tore a ligament in his right ankle.
I was going to say something with his ankle. I was going to say sprain, but that wasn't right.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you want to feel old? The Super Bowl marked 20 years since that happened. But, yeah. Seriously, wow. But, like I said, I just feel like it's a stat that's overblown. Because you know who leads the NFL in drops? The people who get the most targets.
Mm.
The drop percentage is a concern. Let's say he's second most in drops. Well, yeah, look how many freaking targets he gets. That's a lot of targets. So I'm not as worried about it. I think you got to expect anybody to come in the NFL and have room for improvement. But I do think it's a little crazy to sit there and say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Of course it matters. Like, are you kidding me? I just and especially after the week after you talk trash about your head coach. And the scary thing is, I was okay with that.
Yeah, we both were.
I'm not okay with.
I just like say like any bad behavior, it's okay. Listen, baby, I know we've been married 7 years and I only cheated 8 times, so whatever, let it go.
Pants dropping don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
Oh my god, it's absolutely insanity, guys. Absolutely insanity. Like, I can't believe this is a conversation of an actual NFL star receiver saying, I don't care if I drop the ball 6 times. Keep throwing me the ball. Like, is this like the title of his book that Keyshawn Johnson's going to publish for him? Like, keep throwing me the ball.
If I drop the ball this time, I drop the ball.
Oh my god, like, there's got to be some personal accountability for that. There really has to be.
Yeah, like, listen, own up to it. Like, I don't care if I drop the ball. Like, people make mistakes. Keep giving me the ball. I'll show you improvement.
Mm-hmm. Something.
All you had to do is a little additives in there. Sounds way better.
I'm telling you, we need to be hired by the PR.
Right? I just kind of like shot that off of my head, like, on the spot, man.
The simple thing is to say, I need to do better. I will do better. I'm glad we got in a rhythm going. I'm glad I was able to contribute this week, but I need to do better with the drops and move on. We wouldn't be talking about this right now. Instead, he says, I don't care if I drop the ball 6 times. Keep throwing me the ball. I don't care about drops. Got to be kidding me. This is the crap.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
I feel like there are so many people that I can look to in Giants history that would take this kid back to the locker room and smack the crap out of him for that kind of attitude and that kind of answer. Like, we need those guys. We don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
We really don't. And we need somebody who's going to take that kind of role. And I really hope that whoever the GM next year is looks at having that kind of role filled. And I'm going to throw a name out here. I think we're missing more than people realize we're missing. Jihad Ward. He was the veteran leader. He was the older guy that was respected by these players. He's not old though. He's like 30, but still. Winner 21, 30-year seat agent.
Pretty much, dude slept twice as much as you have, or 50% longer.
Yeah, like I said, it's just absolutely crazy, guys. Let's talk about some new Giants records, guys. Oh yes, it's a new NFL record. Even oof, that's bad. That's bad because we're setting bad records. The Giants are just setting bad records. There's Dable looking all mischievous there, talking as we're talking about it here. So Ryan Dunleavy was the guy who actually was the one who announced this part here on X. He said, first off, I'm going to say this off the bat. This is his quote. This is not me saying this because I disagree with him on the very first part of the statement. He says, Giants didn't get embarrassed, but now have lost 7 straight. Our NFL's last winless home team and set an NFL record for 11 straight games without interception. But they aren't the Bears today. First off, yes, that was an embarrassment. That was not a no, this is not an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. And then to sit there and say, but they aren't the Bears today. The Bears had a chance to win the goddamn game. I would prefer to be the Bears. At what point in this game were you like, the Giants have this?
There was no point they had the game, but there was points where it was close.
Yeah, it's called the first quarter.
Oh, no, even going to that.
I'm just saying, like, let's be honest about this. The Bears had a chance to tie the game and go into overtime and win this game. The Giants wish they had the chance. Don't give me that BS of they're not the Bears today. The only thing difference is the Bears coach made such a horrible, egregious mistake at the end of that game that people aren't talking about how crappy Brian Dable is. I'm being honest with you. If that guy didn't do that, do you really think we would not be talking about Brian Dable as much as we should be right now? Because everybody's going, look, the Bears fired their coach because he messed up the time thing. Listen, if we fire coaches because of messing up time management, Brian Dable would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Even the last game, look at the last 2 minutes. We scored that meaningless touchdown at the end of the game. You watch that, watch the clock, and look how we did that. I'm telling you right now, absolute insanity. We mismanaged that time. There's not a single game that we've had that I haven't gone like, what the hell, Dable?
Yeah, he likes to burn the clock.
Yeah. So now we got, like I said, 7 straight losses. That's really bad. The last team in the NFL not to win at home. That's really bad. NFL record, not Giants record, not NFC record, not NFC East record, not this season record. NFL record. 11 straight games without interception. But according to Ryan Dunleavy, the Giants didn't get embarrassed. If that's not embarrassing, what the hell does it take to embarrass y'all?
That was pretty bad. And that pick was the most ridiculous thing. I felt like I was at Ringles and Barney or whatever. All the clowns coming out.
Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey?
Yes, that's it.
Yes. I'm just saying, like, I don't get that. I don't get that as a take from a media member. And I'm kind of shocked because some of the media, to be very frank, I feel like is kissing butt to the Giants lately. And I wonder if there's like a little bit of a, hey, the Giants want you to talk nicely about so-and-so. We don't want to fire him. Like, that's what I feel like is starting to happen. And I don't want to flat out make that kind of accusation. But when I see a guy like Art Stapleton as a good example, who I respect, actually, let me be very clear on that. I respect the man. He knows his stuff. I'm going to say another word. He knows his stuff. But when I see him talking about how he shouldn't fire Joe Shane, shouldn't fire Brian Dable, I got to question if he's watching the same games we all are watching. And there are plenty of times that media guys drop news, say things to appease the team they're covering because they want to make sure they stay in their grade. Yeah. You know, they're not all Jordan Ronan who just talks all kinds of trash about the Giants because he doesn't care. What do you do? Kick ESPN out? Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like, again, I'm not trying to say one particular person is doing things because the Giants said to do it. And like I said, I'm not accusing Art of it. But he's the big one I'm seeing right now. And I gotta think he's smart enough to know that Dable is not the answer and Shane's not the answer at this point. I'm sorry. And that's part of my flabbergastedness is because he knows football.
Yeah, so I mean, you can still kind of up to a couple weeks ago. I was going to say you can say it now, but you can't. Up to about a week and a half ago, you could make an argument that Dable could still have a job with the Giants to a point. But Shane's got to go, and I've said this on the podcast already. Like, you're going to kick out the GM. What are you going to do? You're going to get a new head coach to start the team. So the writing's on the wall. Like, he's got to go. And especially now that your franchise quarterback, that your guy that you signed all this money to, get cut him. You released him. He's gone. That means you're going to go for a quarterback next year because you got Drew Lock and you got Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Fighting for a starting job who are a clear 2-3 or a 3-3 set.
And they're both free agents at the end of the year, by the way.
What's that?
They're both free agents at the end of the year, too. So we don't even have a quarterback signed at all next year. Let alone a starting quarterback. We don't have a quarterback signed next year.
Correct. So, and this, I said this before with Drew Lock, talk about it, but like we talked about with Danny Dimes, like our front office is doing like these players dirty. Like, and now you want to go try to get a quarterback, a free agent of somewhere else. You're going to draft a quarterback, like,
yeah, come here, so I can treat you like crap too.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to promise you all these incentives. You're absolutely going to play. This is what's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, ready? You ready to go play? Oh, good, because you're second string still. Third string, let's go.
It's absolutely insane. The whole situation is just absolutely insane. So tired of being embarrassed, that's for sure. So I was very disappointed to see those records being put on the Giants now, but it is what it is. We deserve it. That's based on how we played. We deserve it. So let's talk about how things have gotten worse, though. Just when you think you have nowhere to go but up, we go further down here. At this point, we must just carry a shovel to get us further down.
Drew.
We got two big injuries talked about today by Brian Dable at his press conference, and neither one of them seem good, guys. Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence, the best nose tackle in all football, and Theo Johnson, the rookie tight end who's kind of been coming into his own the last month or so. Both probably out for the year, guys.
Yeah.
Like, not a couple weeks, the year. So when Dable was asked about Dexter Lawrence, he said, yeah, well, he's got an elbow, which first off, again, I had to pause. He's got an elbow. I have two elbows. What the fuck does that mean?
No, sexy Dex only has one. That's what makes him so sexy.
Like, anyway,
the elbow, the people's elbow.
Anyway, he says, "Yeah, he's got an elbow, and I would say that I anticipate it being long-term injury the rest of the season. Still going to have to take a look at a few different things, but not very optimistic about it." And that's a dislocated elbow he's got, by the way, from this game that he just had yesterday. So, yeah, guys, you think that things are bad yet? No, you take Dexter Lawrence out for the year with everything going on.
Yeah,
that's not good. Especially, we talked about it on the show yesterday about how bad the defensive line is. You just take the only good part of this defensive line away. Armon Watts, who's at least done something for run stopping, is also going to be on IR now too. Like, good luck, guys. Good luck. You think Derrick Henry's going to put on 500 yards against us? I mean, like, when we play him in a couple weeks, like, that's what I feel like I'm looking at this point here. We got,
Derrick Henry's getting up there in age. He's going to have to slow down at some point. He's going to get tired of just running on us. But instead of getting like 200 yards, he's probably not going to get that 500. But 350, all right.
It's going to be like Rocky. We're going to wear him out. We're going to wear him out.
And then we're going to switch to southpaw.
He won't be able to know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's bad. It's really bad. This is getting bad. And then on Theo Johnson, Brian Dable said he injured his foot. This one's probably going to be long term as well. And then when he was asked if he'd be out for the year, he said, I think there's potential of that. We're going to get a few more tests, but I think that there's a potential of that. That's not good, guys. You're hurting both sides of the ball again. I mean, Dexter Lawrence, we said before, he's the best nose tackle in football. He's a guy who He's been our Pro Bowl representative basically the last couple of years. 12 games in the season, 44 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 16 QB hits. Like, that'd be a good season for a defensive end edge rusher, let alone a monster of a man at nose tackle who also stops the run.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely insanity. Theo Johnson ends up 12 games, 29 catches, 331 yards, and a touchdown. Guys, that's not bad for a rookie tight end. Rookie tight ends do not typically have success. They really don't. So yeah, this is a big loss on both these guys.
100%.
Honestly, a very, very big loss. I feel like on both these guys, especially as you're talking to positions that we have trouble on. And what I mean by positions we have trouble on, I mean we have trouble at the defensive line because our defensive line just sucks, and we also have issues with our offense as a whole. We just took away a decent weapon. I mean, if you go back to since week 3, every single week, Theo Johnson's had at least 30 yards. And it doesn't sound like a lot, guys. But for a guy to come out of the tight end position as a rookie to do that, that's good.
Yeah, because he 510 yards in a year.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to set like the tone for like that being considered like elite. I'm not trying to say that, but that's good. And he's got plenty of games he was over that. You know, he did 51 yards against the Commanders, 54 yards last night against the Cowboys. You know, had 48 yards against the Seahawks. I mean, there's plenty of games. This guy was on pace after week 3 when they started actually getting him involved. He was on pace for like a 650 yard kind of average.
Yeah.
He showed us something. Now he also has the drops issues, but unlike Malik Nabers, we believe he probably cares about drops. I hope so. Hoping that's not a contagious mental health issue. But yeah, I said this is gonna be big losses, guys. And this is something we did not need if you want to actually start winning. Now, if you're on the tank train, let me just tell you,
go. Choo choo.
I'll be ecstatic because both those things will be fixed by next year and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
You got to get injured for the year and don't have it linger into next year. That's where it is at. Because I mean, a separated, a dislocated elbow. I mean, he'd be back on the field if it wasn't for the fact that we're so late in the season. You know, that's if you're out for a year kind of situation often.
If they had 8 wins, 7 wins, he'd probably be back on the field towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
like
probably.
It's just, but with with everything going on, like, why take the chance?
Yeah. Plus, I heard Joe Shane said we're taking it anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Shucks.
Take it seriously. I heard on this program. Alrighty, guys. Let's pay the bills real quick. We'll go over the comments, and then we're going to go ahead and start hitting up the scores and the rest of the picks for the week here, guys. So let's get started paying the bills.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
Alrighty, and of course, if you want to support the show as well, you can do so by sending a super chat on YouTube. You can also send stars on Facebook as well. Or if you want to do the free version of support, which we definitely appreciate as well, guys, you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell if you're on YouTube. Hit the share button. Tell a friend. We suck at marketing. We count on you all to tell us, send people our way, basically, at that point. So appreciate you all for doing so. Let's get into the comments here. And like I said, then we're going to get into our picks / semi wrap up as well, because we have to go over also the games from yesterday. So let's see here. Dorothy starts off with 50% of the burgers ever Neil flips next season at Whataburger will be dropped by Nabers, and Nabers will tell a shift manager Dable not to care about that. There are more patties. So we have Dable, Evan Neal, and Malik Nabers all working at Whataburger.
Waddle.
It's a very expensive payroll. Just saying. Demon Time, which sounds like a weird childhood show at that point. Says DJ to Vikings. Wow, that was crazy news. Yeah, I mean, had to go somewhere. Also says, do you trust the regime to draft our next quarterback? We let in drops the last 2 years, I'm pretty sure, by the way. Yeah, and I don't trust this regime to pick a sub at Jersey Mike's.
Oh, you went with the original Italian? Oh, this is gonna get you get the gabagoo on it.
I'm just saying, I don't trust these guys at all. And I think the problem is they're both too pig-headed for their own damn good. That's what it boils down to. And I'll tell you, somebody in this organization definitely likes Shedeur Sanders, though, because they're like nonstop going to his practices and all. Rumor I'm hearing is it's actually Brandon Brown. So I don't know if that's the case or not, because I don't have that on authority to the point where I go, okay, that's definitely the truth. But that's the rumor I've heard around the rumor wheel there. So
rumor has it.
Exactly. Dorothy says, if you had to a list of current Giants that Jim Burt or Steve Diazzi or Pepper Johnson would have put up with, it would be Dex, Illuminor, anyone else. Our team is a bunch of clowns. Listen, the world is a bunch of clowns. That generation of players you'll never see again. Being very honest, you will never see, and that's not a like get off my lawn kind of thing. It's a difference, because back then the money wasn't there like it is now, and that changes things. Some of these guys made a couple $1 million for their whole career. Now we have guys making 20, 30, 40, $50 million a year. It changes things, and it makes you make business decisions, because when the money gets involved, people get greedy. No matter how much money they got, no matter how much money they're going to get, people will get greedy, and they change the way they do things. You want to talk about why the game has gotten so much flashier with end zone celebrations and that kind of stuff that you didn't see back then? That's why.
They can pay for the fines.
It's about the money. It's about the money, guys.
Money.
So, let's see. Spaz Out says, give me 2011 Tebow over any Giants quarterback ever had.
That's ridiculous.
No.
That's ridiculous. Well, listen, he was really good at the Hail Marys, but come on.
Eli Manning, Fran Tarkenton, Y.A. Tittle, Phil Simms, Jeff Hostetler, even Kerry Collins. I'm just giving you more, the last 50, 60 years. I'm not even going back to, the way olden times at that point there. We can go back further if you want.
Yeah.
Those guys are all better.
We actually have a podcast.
Yes. We did have a very good podcast about the best quarterbacks in the history of the New York Giants. And let me be the first to assure you that Tim Tebow would not have made the list.
Yeah, 100%.
Made the list. Definitely would not have. As Deb says, Tim Tebow over Sims or Manning. Seriously, spaz out?
Yeah.
Maybe he's passing out when he said that. I don't know. Solving the race problem says, after living through Joe Judge, I thought that was the organizational low. Dable said, hold my beer, and found a new way to go lower. Thoughts? Until we start
no.
Until we start kneeling the ball in a situation that makes absolutely no sense to kneel the ball. That's the low. That's as low as it gets.
Yes, that is 100% the low, but also at the same time, he's doing it in a different way. There's more than one way to look like an ass on the football fields.
Yes, but did you ever think in your life you would see the occasion where somebody goes, you know what? I don't trust our offense not to get the quarterback sacked and get a safety. We're just going to kneel and then punt.
Yeah, that's 100% the absolute low. But I've also never thought you would see your starting quarterback go into the scout team to play safety, no matter what situation it was.
I'm just saying, in the realm of lows, I think the one is definitely much higher than the other.
I think they're both pretty low.
They both are. Demon Time says, Dable and Shane are terrible. The Saquon thing kills me every time. I honestly, the Saquon thing doesn't kill me. But what does kill me is Dable's play calling and some of Joe Shane's decision-making skills, that's for sure.
You know what's killing everyone is because he's having his career best, right? Which, listen, we call that out like he's gonna ball this year. And what is he doing? He's balling way harder than a lot of people thought. But what's going to happen next year in week 4 when he gets hurt and he doesn't play for 5 games? People are going to like, oh, this is what we gave up. This is what happened. Yeah, he had that one really good run, and now he's back to being what Barkley is. And not that I'm wishing ill on him, but like that's who you sign. You sign a player who gets hurt a lot. You sign a player. This is not what he typically does. He's having his career best.
Yeah,
it's nice to watch,
especially
across the river.
And again, Barkley wouldn't do what he's doing in Philly here because he has the same support team around him.
Correct.
Definitely the case. Hate to give Eagles their props. I'm just saying it like it is.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like you have an offensive line, like you got a solid quarterback that's still there.
An okay,
it's been there.
Okay, quarterback.
Listen, I'm just saying solid as like he's not going anywhere. I didn't say he was good or bad. I meant like he's a fixture there. Like he's not going to go. Now, like if it's Barkley there, like what are the Giants going to do? What's everyone going to do against the Giants? Stack the box because we're probably going to give it to Barkley to run. And is he going to get that many yards against any team once they stack the box? No.
Yeah, no. It's like I said. It's definitely wouldn't have happened for him like it is there. That's for sure. Let's see here. Dakota says hi, Dakota. As that goes, draft 2 quarterbacks like Washington with RG3 and Kirk Cousins. We actually talked about doing that in the show before because we did a mock draft.
Yeah,
and we talked about it like where it wouldn't be the worst. I wouldn't be upset, honestly. I really wouldn't. I think the only way I'm okay with that is that there's somebody who's a veteran quarterback as a coach or something that can go ahead and help with some of the stuff to whoever we get a quarterback. Like if let's say hypothetically, if we keep Brian Dable, well, Mike Kafka is gone the second that I'm gone. Like I made the joke before, he's going to borrow Wake Martindale's clip board for the
24.
Yeah, like it's going to happen. Like he's going to be gone the second he can be. I would think Davis Webb be a guy that might take the job because he's got that kind of relationship with Dable, and he could be that veteran quarterback kind of guy. Like he's like the Wish version of Daniel Jones. He was not a good quarterback, but remember we drafted this kid, so we knew things about Davis Webb besides just his 1 year here with Dable. He was a guy who put all the work in, film room, workout room, drills on his own, all this stuff. And those are the guys that typically are the good coaches, by the way. But he's a guy that maybe could teach some of that part of that case and get 2 quarterbacks and just go for it. I don't know. We'll see. Demon Time says DJ going to end up starting for the Giants some point. LOL. He's going to tear it up. If you mean
for the Vikings,
tear his ACL again, maybe, but I don't think he's going to tear it up. Like he's just not good.
Yeah, well, he'll look better. Like listen, of
course.
He looked good. He's healthy this year. Who would sit behind a way better offensive line, who would have one of the best receivers in football, who would have one of the best tight ends in football. Like he would have way more weapons to hand the ball around, and he would also have another star running back behind him. So you could hide a lot of Daniel Jones' flaws and make him look way better, just more than serviceable, better.
Yeah,
not saying good, just better.
Let me ask you this though: if somebody like smashed poop in someone's face, you would say that's not good, right?
Of course.
And somebody wiped the poop off their face, it's an improvement, right?
Technically, it's improvement.
We're the poop. We're the poop. The Giants are the poop at this point. Like Daniel Jones will look better if he starts somewhere else, but he's not going to look good. Still the same flaws. He's going to better help around him. That's all.
Well, you're not wrong, but the same thing. Like the Vikings, the past couple of years, their system is friendly for not so good quarterbacks to make them look better, a lot better.
Yeah,
they've done it now the past 2 seasons with how many different quarterbacks.
I hear you. That's what I'm saying because they got the weapons. Dorothy says prediction. Lame and a-hole get another season. They draft Garrett Nussmeier, who was overtly terrible from day one. A-hole says he looks good in practice for 5 seasons of 6 and 10, and then we hire Belichick. At that point, Belichick's gonna be like 80 years old. Like I don't think.
Yeah.
The scary thing is that's the part of this topic I had to say is not possible. Like everything else, like that's plausible.
Yeah.
But the Belichick part, that's the problem. That's not plausible. Spaz, that said, we eliminated, so why risk these guys? Because it's a pride thing. It's point blank a pride thing. You can lose, but if you want to build next year, you got to start winning at some point. So,
Yeah. Who wants to go to the Panthers? Who wants to go to the Saints? Like, look at these teams that have been bad for the past 5 plus years.
Yep.
Like, Miami started winning games and people started going over to them. Now they're a better team of football.
It's business decisions at that point. Dorothy says currently Carson Beck is looking horrible against Georgia Tech, down 17-0. So we can definitely put him on Lame's must draft list. Yeah. Deb says seems like NFL is becoming more entertainment than sport. 100%. That's what it is. It's the entertainment thing. It's like WWF. They changed it back to for football.
I see what you did. The World Wildlife Foundation is going to come after you.
Did you know when that negotiation was going on, Vince McMahon was probably the biggest dick ever? They're like, we're not going to give this guy this.
Yeah, walking in.
Yeah, he's just such
doing the Conor McGregor for Conor McGregor was doing it. The Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he did walk like that. Now he looks like a weird plastic surgery version of Mario. So, he does. He looks weird.
And sauced. Not the same kind of sauce.
Dorothy says, how many of the teams have cut their starting quarterback in season? Has it ever happened before? McNabb and the Dolphins, maybe? It's happened. It's definitely happened. Just doesn't happen very often. Most people wait to the end of the year. We're just special like that. Spazda says, I'm a Giants fan, but I just bought me a Saquon Eagles jersey today. One of these things don't go with the other.
Yeah. What is going on here?
That doesn't work, Spaz. You get a Giants jersey if you're a Giants fan. If you get an Eagles jersey, you're an Eagles fan now.
Listen, I'm not going to say that. You can collect good players' jerseys, but there's no reason to get Saquon Barkley Eagles jersey.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a fan of Brian Urlacher, but you're a Colts fan.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, but the thing is different. If you are a Brian Urlacher fan and you're a Packers fan, you don't buy that jersey.
100%. That's where I was getting at.
That's the analogy.
Yeah.
Like, we're not wearing Micah Parsons jerseys here. Like, that's not going to happen. Let's see. Deb says, I don't think they would have cut him if he didn't have that injury clause in his contract. That's relatively new. Yeah. And again, Brady was never in that scenario. For him to talk trash like that is just crazy. Dorothy says, a real Giants fan skin sizzles off if Eagles merch touch their skin. Yeah, like I said, it's just we don't do it. We just don't do it. I
have to go to Philadelphia a lot, and it makes my skin boil just being inside the city. I was actually at Xfinity Live today, right by Lincoln Financial. Yeah, same. That's right.
Demon Time says, look at Darnold. He's balling and had way less success in New York. Also, Darnold is running over linebackers and CBs to get in the end zone. DJ is tough, and I believe he'll be better. I wouldn't say Darnold's lighting it up.
He's looking serviceable because of the assets around him.
He's on pace for, he's got 2,700. I was going to have like 3,500 yards. So I guess part of the problem is almost like when Geno Smith got good. I had to like give it a year or so of me to let that sink in. You know what I mean? Like it's you figure 12 games in, he's got 27-17 on the yards. So he's going to be on pace for 3,800 yards. That's not bad. That's really
it's also not balling.
No, it's not 5,000 yards or anything crazy like that.
Yeah.
But, still good. He's on pace for 29 touchdowns in the season. I mean, listen, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Again, he also has, though, Justin Jefferson Jordan
Hawkinson.
Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, uh, Aaron Jones. I mean, he's got talent everywhere around him. So, and
Yeah.
the she knows how to coach the offense. It's crazy.
Absolutely nuts. Definitely not a Jets or the Panthers.
Yeah, like I said, it's absolutely insane. Beef says, I hear your comments. Free agents aren't going to want to come here, and the top 2 quarterbacks are probably praying they're not coming here. And I'm a fan for 56 years. I think with this current staff, and this is why I keep saying about the Bill Belichick thing. I think if you get Belichick in here as a football operations guy, you have automatically added so much credential to to this franchise as a whole that I think people don't look at it the same. Like you've wiped the slate clean with that one move. Again, not coach, not GM, vice president of football operations.
Yeah.
Way to go. And you just clean house with Shane, clean house with Dable, and you let Bill clean house with whoever he has to. Because Mara's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Someone needs to come up this way. And I don't like to say this very often in this scenario. There are sometimes at work that people are too comfortable, and you got to go in there and bring a dick in there to go ahead and swing that thing around and go ahead and fire people and get things going. Bill Belichick needs to be that dick. And I think he can.
100%.
And Mara is too comfortable. Everybody else around Mara is too comfortable because they know Mara's not going to do it because Mara respects them as people and cares about them as people. Sometimes that gets you in trouble. And I think that's the problem he's had. D Wins says Shane doesn't seem to be able to evaluate talent at even a good level, let alone great, which is what you want from your GM. Dable doesn't have what it takes as a head coach. No choice. Clean house. 100%. 100%. Tom, what's up, man? Says that's Tom from Big Blue Avenue, by the way. You guys haven't gone ahead and liked them and subscribed, please do so. Definitely a good program.
It's a good listen.
Yeah. It says Brady's a jerk for saying that. Way to spin it back on Jones' awful remarks. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's just doing it to put his name out there because he's trying to make himself a name as a media person, which is sometimes difficult when you're in that position he's in. It is. I'm going to say it point blank like that, but it is what it is. You wanted to go into media. You could have just, stayed playing for the year or two. You could have gone and just done your partial ownership thing. You went this route. It's on you. Spazat says, quick question. What if Philip Rivers was here in 2004? Would we have Super Bowls or no? I don't know. I really don't. Because Eli is a very big part of that because of his, ability to go ahead and show up in the biggest moments.
Yeah, the problem with Philip Rivers, listen, he was a fantastic fantasy quarterback. If you drafted him every year in fantasy football, but when seriously, listen, he played for the Chargers for most of his career. He constantly got you 4,500 yards is probably what he averaged every season, close to 5,000, constantly a top 5 with yards and touchdowns. But his biggest problem was when he was down in games, when things were getting tough, he was too much of a hothead, and then he made bad decisions. He started losing his temper. And some of the biggest moments that Eli's had is under hot, intense moments where and people made fun of him, but listen, he won 2 Super Bowls. He will get killed, lose his helmet, look at the screen and go, and just right off his face. It was gone. As soon as the play was over, he had this silly look on his face, but it was gone. Yeah. He let it roll right off and came back to the next play with a cool head, made a big play.
Yep. So, like I said, I don't think you'll ever see, and that's what Demon Time says as well, is we won't see another Eli ice in his veins. Dorothy says Eli's teams were not as good as most of those Chargers teams. Eli was touched by the hand of God in the 07, especially 11 playoffs. Rivers was too busy repopulating the world. Yeah, Rivers had 30
years.
You'd think he'd be more relaxed in general when he's getting laid that often. I'm just saying.
Well, isn't he Mormon? So it was how many kids did he has? So that's how many times he's got laid.
I don't know. It's just craziness, absolute craziness. So Spaz says, to me, I believe Rivers was underrated. Well, that's what happens when you are one of 3 quarterbacks in that year and you're the only one with no ring. That's what happens, right or wrong. That's what happens. So, Alrighty, guys. Let's get into our recap of the Thanksgiving games and also our picks here for this upcoming weekend as well. The Sunday and the Monday Night Football game there, because we got plenty to go over with that there. So we got already 4 games in the book. We already did our picks on that on Wednesday, and then we also got, of course, all the games left over for Sunday, Monday. So, so to recap again, last week I'll do the quick recaps. We did that yet on Wednesday. I won 27-21, so I go into this week being up 338 to 326 in the season. So we had, first off, we had the Bears and the Lions. Lions won 23-20. Listen, I don't tell you what's been in the news all day long. Their coach was a hack job. Never should have been the coach. He should have been fired last year, as far as I'm concerned. He messed up everything and just gave them no shot to win in the end because of his stupidity. So they lost. Rob and I both picked the Lions to win, so we got a point there. We both picked the Lions to beat the 10-point spread. That was not a win, so we didn't get that. We also picked the over at 48.5, which is 43. So therefore, we did not get that either. Who would have thought the Giants and Cowboys would be a higher scoring game than the Bears and the Lions?
Yeah. Well, it's also the Lions made a lot of mistakes in that first half too, where they should have had 3 touchdowns. Instead, they went into the halftime with 13.
Yeah, absolute craziness. So yeah, so just a point for each of us there for getting the winner correct. Next up there, Rob.
Yeah, next up, obviously our game. We know all about that. Shit show. Drew and I both took the Cowboys to win this game, so we kind of went off that. Drew also took the Cowboys in the spread. I thought hopefully there was a little part of me that, thought the Giants could keep it a little closer, but the spread was 3.5. I took them to the Giants in the spread, and guess what? We suck. Didn't happen because Cowboys won 27-20.
Yeah, the high scoring game. Crazy.
Yep. Over was 47. I'm sorry, 37, and we both took the under, Drew, and lost that because it should have been 47, which would have been a push.
Well, I got 2 points. You got 1 point on that one. So
next
up, we had the Packers destroying the Dolphins 30-17. You and I both picked the Packers to win and to beat the spread, so we win there. We both picked the over, though, which did not happen. It was a push, actually, at 47. So, therefore, we didn't get those points. We don't cheat and give ourselves the pushes. So, that puts us at 2 points each for those.
Correct, Mundo. And then you also had the Raiders and the Chiefs playing today, Black Friday game.
We'll play today.
Yeah.
Already over.
Yeah, they played today. Well,
yeah. You said playing.
But they were playing today at 3 o'clock, Prime, because Prime needs their money because Thanksgiving wasn't thankful enough for them. The Raiders kept it close. Chiefs win 19-17. Drew and I, we both took the Chiefs in this game, but we also took the Chiefs in that cover, expecting a blowout.
I was so close to picking the Raiders.
Was I.
So quick to pick the Raiders in that thing too. Like, that's a massive spread, and the Chiefs played close.
It was, and the over/under was 42.5 points, and we both took the under, rightfully so, won that. But yeah, no, the Raiders, the first 2 months of football have been great at the spread. I think they're at one point they were 6-1 or 7-1, and then they fell off the wagon the past month and lost against the spread. And after coming off that loss, the Chiefs coming off that loss, I thought last week they were going to come back and blow out who they play, the Panthers.
Yeah.
But they didn't blow out the Panthers. And then I thought a divisional game, get right game, to be, hey, let's get this right and let's go on here. And obviously that did not happen.
No, it did not. So
that means two.
So far, the only difference between you and I has been I got 1 point lead because of picking the Giants to not cover the spread there. So I'm up right now 7-6 for the week. So let's get right into our games we got here going into this one here. So first off, we're starting with the Cardinals at the Vikings. And the Cardinals have been kind of a surprise, I feel like, to a certain degree. Like that's been a team that's kind of done some things little quieter than you kind of expect, But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Vikings to win this game. I'm going to pick them to cover the 3.5 point spread they got to cover, and I'm going to pick the over on the 45 point over under.
Yeah, Drew. Yeah, like you said, the Arizona, they've been flying under the radar, and they actually been playing better. They've actually been playing better defense than most people thought. But this Danny Dimes Vikings team is, the Vegas favorite, if you will, and I'm going to take them in this to win and in the spread. And it has nothing to do with Danny Dimes. I just had to drop his name out there, and I'm also taking over. So that means we get the trifecta going over here.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
See.
Up next, another exciting divisional game, if you will. You got the Texans going into Jacksonville. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Womp.
The Jacks are giving up 3.5 at home. They're looking to get 3.5 at home, which should be, if they're playing on the road, 6.5 if they went to Houston. So, yeah, Vegas is really leaning towards the Jaguars here, huh?
Yeah,
Psych.
I mean, you can't blame them for seeing, that one team is clearly better than the other in this little matchup.
Yeah. Well, the Texans also have not been playing the way they have of last year. They have a little bit of a sophomore hiccup, if you will.
Yeah.
But the Jaguars are in a complete meltdown, dumpster fire, almost as bad as the Giants.
Well, I don't think anybody's that bad. That's pretty bad.
It's almost as bad because they were talked about winning that division, being contenders in that division, and what do you have? 3 wins this year? 4?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm taking
it's not good.
I'm taking the Texans on the road in this divisional game. I'm taking the Texans happily in the spread to win this game, and I'm going to take the under because I don't think that there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Obviously, so I'm taking the under, but I think that Houston's defense is going to step it up, and the Jaguars' offense has not been clicking on almost any cylinder.
No,
I'm going to say all cylinders, so any cylinder. So I think the Houston Texans will be able to stop Trevor Lawrence. ETN's been a little beat up, and then same thing with Houston. Their offense has not been clicking as well either. So we'll with the under in this game. I'm taking it more as divisional 19-14 because there's going to be a missed field goal somewhere. Actually, kick.
And I can see that. I really can. And honestly, the over under is the biggest thing for me in this that I want no part of whatsoever.
No. No.
I'm going to agree with you on everything but that. I'm going to say it's an over. Something tells me divisional game, they know how to play each other. So there'll be a tight game, but it's also going to be a game that put up some points because they know as much as the defenses know about the offenses know about the defenses. And that's going to help a little bit there. It'll just barely get over that cusp there, sort of speaking. Have 48 points on the day instead of nothing crazy, but it won't be that 44 over under we got there. So next up, we got the Colts at the Patriots there, guys. And listen, you got a tale of 2 young quarterbacks here. One getting benched because he got tired. One who's been, playing pretty decent for the most part since he's been, starting. And I'm going to go with the Patriots in this because I just had this vibe that down the stretch they're going to start doing just a little bit of something here. Nothing too crazy, but just enough to give their fans a little bit of hope for the future at that point there. And if they're going to do that, they got to do it soon because they got the Cardinals, the Bills, the Chargers, and the Bills again to end their season. There's not much more room to get some wins here, guys. That's a rough end to that season there. So I got the Patriots to win 2.5 points. It can scare me on this cover, and I'm going to put the under on the points though because I think that this Colts teams actually have trouble scoring, and I think that's what the biggest issue is going to be. I think this is going to be a decent win by the Patriots.
Yeah, I do believe you're right in the under. I'm not seeing a high scoring game here,
Yeah.
but Anthony Richardson, after getting benched, has looked a lot better. Drake May has been playing good football, but he's also still a rook. These defenses are what's going to decide this game. That's why I'm going with the under, but I'm actually going to lean towards the Colts just because I need to see a little bit more on Drake May, who has been playing good football, but I need to see a little bit more. And I went same thing. Like, it's going to be Colts. So this is going to be a big decision making for us, if you will, Drew.
There we go. So
Up next, you got the Seahawks going into MetLife playing the Jets.
The Jets.
Seahawks are.
You're a Jet to the end.
The Seahawks are favored by
like who? Like what? Like we're in a gang in New York. Like who does that? Like you're getting shanked in New York doing that crap.
You're right. Let's have a dance off instead.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks are a 1.5 favorite in this game, and the over/under is 42 points. Yeah, Jets have been absolutely poop. Trash, dumpster fire full of poop. So they would be playing a Raritan high school football team. I'll probably pick the Raritan high school football team.
Is it fair to say the Jets are the better New York team, but the biggest disappointment in New York?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, because they were expected to do so much more.
Mm-hmm. And definitely didn't do that.
No, not at all. But don't worry, Aaron Rodgers wants to be a Jet next year. So you guys are good. But I'm taking Seahawks to win this game. I'm taking them in that cover because a 1.5 means absolutely nothing to me. It's just them showing a little bit of respect to the Jets. A little bit. I'm taking the under in this game as well.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I got the same exact picks there, nice and simple. So we got the Titans at the Commanders here, guys. Talk about a get-right game opportunity for DC, and I think they get right here. I got the Commanders to win. It's a 6-point spread, but I have no faith in this Titan team whatsoever, so I think they're going to cover that, no problem. And I got the over on the points of 44.5 because I think this is going to be, like I said, just that, a get-right game for these Commanders. And they're going to have to turn it around if they want a chance of getting in the playoffs here because after a hot start, they've let the Eagles beat them now in the division. And now it's going to be a time of just get in the playoffs. Like that's a good goal for them because honestly, guys, if you told any of their fans at the beginning of the year, even if you told the front office behind closed doors, they would go, "Oh, that's good."
That's fun in there.
It's the truth, though. Like you've been crap for how long? You got in the playoffs, and your rookie quarterback played good this year. Kudos.
Yeah, kudos. I do believe I'm on the same boat with you. Titans have been playing like trash. Will Levis has been once again putting way too much coffee in his mayo. I think he made a mayo cappuccino.
Mayo-chino.
Levis-chino, if you will. I'm going to take the Commanders from this game. I think the Commanders are going to cover this game as well, but I'm disagreeing with you in the under-over. I'm going to take the under because the Titans' defense, granted, they're on the field way too much, have been playing pretty solid football for the first 3 quarters of most of these games.
I'm not remembering the Titans.
You are not remembering the Titans, is what I'm saying. Also, it's a get-right game for DC, but DC also has not been putting up points.
Yeah.
That many points in the past 3 weeks. So,
something
France is going to be tricky.
That breakout game. This is going to be the breakout game.
Which is fine. Let them score 24 points when the Titans have like 7.
No. I'm on to you.
All right. Up next, you have the Chargers going into Atlanta. The Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 1 point in this game, so they're giving it to the Falcons, showing a little respect. Over under is 47.5 points. This game almost feels like a trap game.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Well, I know these defenses have been playing great football. Both sides. Good to great football, not great football. But I'm taking the other in this game. And yeah, as much as I want to feel like it's a trap, but the Chargers lost last week in an upset against the Harbaugh's brothers. So I'm going to take the Chargers to get right in this game. I'm going to take the Chargers to obviously get that point because otherwise, if you get less than half a point, then they lose.
Unless the tie or they lose, we're good. Right? So yeah, I mean, like I said, to me, the Chargers are a better team than the Falcons are, and that's just what it boils down to in this. Because I think they're a better team. Because it's not a matter of how much better. It's a 1-point spread, like you said. It don't matter. They just, to me, are a better team, and they're just enough to squeak out a win even on the road from the Falcons here. So I got Chargers to win, Chargers to cover, and I got the under on the over/under. So we match up on this one here.
Yeah, the Falcons team just does not know their identity.
Then you got the Steelers at the Bengals. I think the Steelers are probably the surprise of the season, basically, and the Bengals could also be one of the surprises of this season as well. So, I'm going to pick the Steelers to win. They're set up at the Steelers. They got that magic touch this year. And the Bengals have just been inconsistent. You can't trust them, especially on defense. So I got Steelers to win. It's only a 3-point spread, so I'll take them to win with the cover at that point. And I'll get the under because I just really have a lot of respect for this defense on the on the Steelers. But I don't have enough respect for this offense on the Steelers to put up a ton of points against a very bad defense as well in the process. So Steelers under.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with you. Right now, the Steelers defense is one of the best in football. They just stop everyone, keep close, maniacal football. That offense has played good at times, but their defense is what's winning them games.
Yeah,
let's be real. And it's the complete opposite for the Bengals. Joe Burrow, that poor guy, is breaking some records in the NFL in a bad way as well, because I think he's got 4 games with 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and lost all 4 of those games.
Crazy.
So, yeah, the Steelers will allow you to get those 300 yards, but they won't let you in the end zone. So, Steelers to win, Steelers to cover in the under.
All right.
Up next, we're going to Nolans. They're hosting
little jambalaya.
The jambalaya hosting the Rams, and the Rams are favored in this game by 2.5 points. The over under is 49.5 points. What could be said? The Saints started off 2 weeks of football as the hottest team in football, and they've done absolutely jack and she's at since then.
Is that a dog breed? What's that?
She's at. Yeah, this Rams team started off the season slow, but they've turned around, played some really good football, won some games, getting healthy again. So I'm taking the Rams to win this game. They're going to throw the rock around quite a bit. They're also going to be throwing against the Saints defense, which has been playing pretty good for the most part. Yeah. So I'm going to take the under. And it's not so much I don't think the Rams offense can't put up that many points. I just really don't have faith in the New Orleans offense to put up that many points. Nonsense.
Yeah, I mean the Rams have actually lost a couple of games there, but they've been close games lately. They lost 2 out of 3 because they lost to the Dolphins 23-15. They lost to the Eagles 37-20. But this is not the Rams or the Dolphins here, guys. This is this is not the Dolphins or the Eagles here. This is the Saints. The Saints aren't a good team, so I fully expect the Rams to handle their business. They're going to win. They're going to go ahead and cover the 2.5 points. And I actually think the over on the over-under, I think it's going to be a much bigger offensive game than people think at that point there. I think they're going to win. I want to say like they're going to get like let's see, we got let's say like we're trying to think in my head here. So I would say they're going to win by 35-28 kind of game, like that kind of thing. Like I think it's going to be like it's going to be a decent scoring game. It's going to be one of those kind of games. So next up, we got the Buccaneers at the Panthers. And guys, let me be very clear. Whenever the Panthers play anybody not named the New York Giants, we're going to pick the other team to win. So the Panthers are going to lose to the Bucs. The Bucs are going to cover the 5.5 point spread. But I do have the over on that because I think the Bucs are going to absolutely destroy this team based on what they did to us last week. So Bucs over.
I 100% agree with you. I was back and forth about the over under there, but no, it's going to be over just because the Bucs have not been they're scoring some points and they're just not letting up after they score. They're not taking any little sauce off the gas, if you will. They just keep going. So I agree with you. That's it. Ding, ding, ding. So Bucks over. Sunday Night Football, Drew.
Sunday night.
Night. This should, at the beginning of the year on paper, be one of the better games all year. You have the 49ers going into Buffalo, who's given the Niners 6 points in this game with the over-under at 44.5. This one's, if you said last year, end of the year, start of season, I'd be wishy-washy where we should be on this one, but it's pretty plain and simple right now. You got a very healthy Bills team going against a very beat-up Niners team that have been on a very downward spiral, and the Bills have been lights out as recent time. So I'm taking the Bills to win. I'm taking the Bills to cover that 6 points because I think you're going to Buffalo. It's going to be a little cold up there, and they're just going to put a spanking on there. And I took the over because the Bills don't let off the gas.
Yeah.
They just go. And you don't got Nick Bosa, and you don't got Bosa on that defense. They let double the points in when he's on the field. So give me that over.
Oh, yeah. All righty. So, yeah, I'm going to say Bills over. Same as you. I got the same exact thing. So, last game of the week, we got the Browns at the Broncos and Monday Night Football, where all my rowdy friends are. And listen, I'll take the Broncos to win this because the Browns suck. We lost. We beat the Browns. They lost to the Giants. The ultimate knock on the team. So Broncos win. It's a 5.5-point spread. They'll probably win by like a touchdown, I'm thinking at that point. So I'll give them that. And he got 41.5 points. I'm going to give him the under because the Broncos have been a decent defense. So I got Broncos under.
Yeah, a team starting with the letter B will win this game. I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to say also notice their names start with a B, but it ends in an S.
Did you pick the same teams I did?
And the second letter will be an R, and the third letter will be an O. This is crazy.
Whoa, there's an N in there too. But I'm taking the Broncos to win this game. You got Winston starting behind center for the Browns, who've been putting up more points since you got rid of Deshaun Watson, who's been playing like complete trash, who's brought down this team and brought down the morale to this team. So I'm going to take the Browns to cover. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I took the under, and I think I think this is going to be a lackluster, excited Monday Night Football game.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a little craziness, I think. So, yeah, guys, that's it for us on that. We'll see how things progress. We'll do our post-game show on Monday, as we always do. So keep tuned for that. We do not plan on going live again until Monday. So if anything happens big, obviously, like usual, Rob and I would pop on and do something real quick. It'll probably be a YouTube thing specifically, not a full-on episode, unless something crazy happens, like Debo gets fired. But I don't see it happening over the weekend. So we'll be back up there for you guys Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and of course Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Typically, obviously, game time will change things, like we had this week, a Friday episode because we played last night. We had to do a post game instead of our usual Thursday. But like I said, usually Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Plus, we'll be on game day with the post-game show the second the game is over. And we do try to do the play-by-plays where we can as well there for you guys there, since we know nobody likes the announcers on the TV. And, of course, we're always available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms as well. So Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe wherever you can. Just helps us out big time there. Appreciate you guys for watching. And let's see here if we got any more. We got one more comment here before we go out. And Matt Newsom says Shane drafted the right players for Mike Kafka offense. Dable interviewed and sabotaged it. Dable needs to be fired. Honestly, I don't think that part of it, as much as I want to give, crud to Dable right now because he's not on my shit list, but I don't think that's the case. You look at what happened with Kafka taking over the offense. Well, who did Shane draft that's successful in offense? That was before that, because that was last year. Wan'Dale Robinson? That's it? Evan Neal bust. Daniel Bellinger had a really bad second and third year now after having a decent first year. Josh Mizuno sucked. Marcus Beheathen sucks not on the team anymore. JMS has been kind of a disappointment there. I mean, I can't really sit there and say that that's the issue. The issue is just in general is that they both have sucked at the job for the most part. Joe Shane had a great draft this year, though, at least. That's the one thing kind of saving grace for him. But otherwise, it's been bad. It's been bad. And we called the alarm on that, guys, by the way, before it was popular. We've been saying that for since before this draft. So, all right, guys. We'll see you guys again Monday night. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. Have a happy, safe weekend, especially those that are traveling, maybe back home from somewhere there. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. And as always, Giants fans, go Giants!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.